Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition tonight, an interview with the CEO and co-founder of MyEcon, Mr. Ivy Stokes. Ivy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I appreciate you inviting me. It's definitely a pleasure to be here tonight.
Well, let's dig right into the woods, Ivy. Let's go back to when it all began. Tell us. And by the way, we're being streamed live over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And for all of you that are viewing on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Ivy, when you were young, did you ever think that things would turn out to be how it is today for you?
Well, it's that's a really good question because in terms of finance, yes, I did think that. I grew up. I was raised by the mother of a little holiness church, so we went to church. She taught us the Bible. We had to do things. She was strict, and so even from the time I was a little boy, I remember talking about Jesus when I was a little boy, and that I just believed that whatever I did, I was going to be successful at it my entire life. Now, the strange part about that is I never thought about getting old or being in good health or bad health. That part I never thought about. And it's just amazing to me. And I'm so thankful to the Lord every day that here I am just a few months shy of 65 years old and I have no medical issues.
Oh, that's a
I
blessing.
mean, and it's not like I did everything right or even thought about it. I just never thought about it. So that's been the amazing part to me is just becoming father and of course grandfather, now great grandfather, and I can still shoot a basketball and run and all that stuff. Not as much as I could before, but I can still do it. So absolutely.
I find that hard to believe. You can still shoot a basketball, huh?
Yes, sir. I can still shoot it. I can still put that backspin on it.
Now, it's funny you say that because you went to Georgia Tech, correct?
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay, but you didn't go there on a basketball scholarship. You went there on a football scholarship. Is that
Yes, I
correct?
went there on a football scholarship, but I was a four-sport All-American in high school.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I can do a little bit of all of it: football, baseball. Baseball was probably my best sport, but it was just too slow for me. And basketball was probably my worst sport because obviously I'm a big guy, and but I can play.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
So now you won a scholarship to Georgia Tech.
yes, I did. I won a football scholarship at Tech.
So now your dream, you had dreams of playing professional sports as a collegiate athlete, correct?
Yes, I definitely wanted to play in the NFL. In my senior year, first game of the season, second or third play, all that kind of went away because I tore my medial collateral ligament, which today they called the MCL. And but back then that was a very serious injury. Back in 1970, 1981, that was real serious. But today, I mean, they go to surgery, they're out maybe 6 months and they right back. But plus I didn't want to get surgery, so that was pretty much the end of it.
Okay. So now you went to Georgia Tech. You played football. You obtained a degree there, but you joined the army, correct?
Yes, because once I got out of tech, I didn't know. I wasn't. I had planned on playing football, and I didn't really know what else I wanted to do other than I thought that I would go to law school, but I didn't have any money. And
Hmm.
so I joined the military. The military had a 2-year program where they would give you $15,000+ to go to law school or go to college. Period. And so I did that program. With that. But while I was in the military, I met some people that were in the financial services industry. I got involved in it, started making good money, and never went to law school.
Wow, wow. So that just changed your whole mindset altogether, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
So how did that play in with what you majored in college?
Well, I majored in business in college, but to be honest, I never learned anything about, well, I wouldn't say anything. The only thing that I really learned in college that I thought was of significance was I learned how to do research. So I
Okay.
learned how to learn, but I really didn't learn anything about business until after I was in the business world, and because college didn't really teach me any of that. They didn't have any application. It was just a bunch of concepts and theory about what other companies had done, and some basic things, and I guess that's just the way it is for business. Whereas I guess if it was for engineering, they really would teach you engineering, but for business, they just kind of taught categorical things.
Wow, wow. So now what all did you involve yourself in that really set you up for where you are and who you are today?
Well, I would just say that, it's been a journey that the Lord led me on. As I, said, I was raised by the mother, the Little Holiness Church. I wanted to play in the NFL.
Mhm.
The way that I saw myself, it was a little small country town, farm community. The way that I saw myself getting out there was getting a scholarship to college because, we didn't have any money and nobody I knew had any money. And so football was a way out. And I used to read this book called Winners Never Quit and Quitters Never Win.
Yes.
And that book, I probably read that book 200, 300, 400 times, being a kid, just reading it. And, it was about Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor and,
Mhm.
Jim Ryan, the great miler, and it just talked about they all overcame obstacles to get where they were. And so I could envision me in that would be my way out with sports. And so I did, I applied myself to sports and the Lord blessed me to get a scholarship to Georgia Tech. So that ticket was done. And then after Georgia Tech, he led me to the military and from
Mhm.
there into the financial services. And that's where I started learning about business and finance and money. And so here I am today. So I just, so literally every day I thank the Lord for his guidance and direction, because I know a lot of smart people that haven't done so well.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and I know it's not that popular, because some people say, well, I got to figure it out. I'm like, well, I'm going to just ask the Lord to tell me how to do it. But everybody got their own way, so I'm all with whichever way they want to go. But it's better to just walk by faith versus figuring it out, in my opinion.
Well, you said this several times in the short time that we've been talking. You thank the Lord. It's always the Lord. So now, how do you feel that giving God the glory helped you in your business venture today?
Well, I think it meant everything to me, because I didn't know how to figure it out.
Yes.
I just knew what I wanted, and I really don't think very many people out there do know how to figure it out. I didn't come from a family where we had a lot of people that went to college. I didn't come from a family where anybody in my family had a business.
Mhm.
I was first to do those things, in our family. So that's all I could do was depend on the Lord. But after doing that all these years, even today, the Lord blesses us with a great business. I still don't know how to figure it out, but I do know how to ask Him to lead me and guide me. And so, to
Yes.
me, that's just, I think it's just a choice of where we end up in life based on what our own perspective is.
Now, before we start talking about the company that you created and started, we both did time in the military, and you know that being in the military, your hands you touch a lot of money, but you fumble a lot of money. What would be your advice before getting into what we're going to, the meat of our discussion now? What would be your advice to that military person who doesn't have a strategy and just fumble away their money?
Well, I would say to the military person, and I would say to anybody really, but you're correct. Military people do make a lot of money. I would say um, take the next 60 to 90 days to track your money and identify where your money is going.
Yes.
Because if you know where it's going, then you can decide if you want to change where it's going. If you know what you're spending it on, you can change, what you're spending on. But if you don't know what's going on, I've met lots of people in my life that they really don't know what happens to their money.
Yes.
They just know they get it and they spend it, and the next month they're waiting on some more. That's all they know.
Yes. So now you talking to Sergeant Wallace. Now you met Sergeant Wallace, and Sergeant Wallace is living paycheck to paycheck. How can Sergeant Wallace eliminate the mindset of paycheck to paycheck, and he's getting promoted? It seems like he's getting promoted every 3 or every 2 years. So you're getting more, you're receiving more money. So instead of doing what you should with that money, you're spending it. How can you show Sergeant Wallace the benefit of not living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, I think it starts with there's a question that I ask every single person that I meet and talk to about finance, and that question is, what are the top 2 things you want to do financially in the next 6 to 18 months?
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have a desire for something or something that you want, then that's going to energize you and motivate you and focus you to be able to go after it. So
Yes.
Once they know what it is that they want, I said, now let's see where your money is going and how can we rearrange things to get you where you want to go.
Awesome. So now you formed the company in 2005. All right. And from the name of it, what birthed the name My Econ? And what is
Well,
the
the
name?
same, I would say it would be a lot to do with what you just asked me, which is, what would I tell somebody that was touching a lot of money, having a lot of money come in? What should they do? Well, the way that I see finance is that everybody in every institution has an economy. You got the U.S. economy, the state economy, the city, the county, all the way down to your household, and somebody's in charge of that economy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, quite often you see situations where when you hear people talk, they act as if somebody else is in charge of their finances.
Yeah.
The government didn't do this, or the government did do that, or my company didn't do this, or I just don't know what's going on. But the reality is, it should be my economy. And My Econ, the name of our company, is short for My Economy. Somebody's got to be in charge. And if you're not going to be in charge of your finances, that's bad. Because if somebody else in charge of your finances, they probably are not going to do it to your benefit.
That's powerful. So again, now Sergeant Wallace, he's blowing money daily. How can My Econ benefit me if I were to get started in it today?
Well, we could do a lot of things. Number one, we would just being involved in our company, you'd be around other people that are focused on doing things with their money. So that would change a person's mindset. Second of all, we've got all the tools. We've got the cash flow manager that you can use to lower your taxes. You've got the cash flow strategist that you can use to create a financial plan for yourself. We've got a credit repair system that would show you how to build a great credit score. So the bottom line is being around other people that are, money focused, that are, looking to accomplish things financially, and then having these tools that we got, it's going to give the person a greater, it's going to give them a bigger financial perspective. In other words, they're going to be able to do some possibility, dreaming. In other words, somebody might be, they might be sitting there and they say, well, I can't buy the house that I want. But being in my econ, they might be that, well, if my credit score went up, my interest rate would go down. If I cut some spending here, I'd have more money there. I might be able to get my dream house, or I might be able to get my dream car, or I might be able to travel more. So a lot of other possibilities open up, simply because they're around other people that are doing those things and other people that are having those conversations.
So now, okay, Sergeant Wallace has just got through several different audits with the IRS. So he's not really that organized in keeping documentation. What is it that MyEcon offers that could help me in that area?
Well, we've got our cash flow manager app, which is an app that gives a person the ability to keep up with all of their income and expenses. It's at the finger, at the touch of a finger right there on their phone. But in addition to that, we also have educational videos and live training on what can be deducted and, just different aspects of a person's finances. And so we've got education to help improve the perspective. And then number two, the cash flow manager app, which is the software for helping actually implement those strategies. So, we've got all the tools, every tool a person needs for their personal finance. We have that, even down to the knowledge of training of investing, so a person can have a much bigger perspective, because sometimes people blow money because they don't think they have enough money to actually reach their goals.
Absolutely. Okay, so Sergeant Wallace is about $100,000 into debt. You mentioned a strategist, a strategy, right? So
yes, absolutely.
What really is this? Is it something I can plug my debt into it and to show me what to pay off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time?
Yes, it'll show you just plug the debt in, and it gives you a method to pay that debt off and showing the quickest way to do it. But I'm going to tell you something else that I like the fact that same strategist gives you alternatives, because, I've seen people that, they say, well, I got X amount of debt. I just really want to get debt free. Okay, that's a good thing. But then sometimes it could be more motivating, and it would be to me, to say, well, what if you just kept paying the minimum on the debt, but you took this other money and invested it? Because a lot of times, because some people get highly motivated by not having debt. Other people get highly motivated by looking at an investment account with their name on it that's growing. So it gives them alternatives of the same app. In just a matter of seconds, it gives them the alternative. If you paid all the debt off, you'd be here on this date. But if you took half of the extra money and paid on the debt and half invested, you would be here. Or if you took all the extra money, just kept paying the minimum on the debt, took all the extra money and invested it, you'd be here. So now, based on this person's personality, they might pick to focus just on debt elimination, or half and half, or on 100% on investing. So it's their choice. And I think that's one of the most powerful things about MyEcon is it opens up possibilities and alternatives.
And you can't beat that up. So we're gonna rewind the tape just a little bit, because I think what's really awesome is, all right, you had no clue as to how this was going to turn out for you. So you decided to start a company. All right, and it could have just went the other way, but you decided to start a company. What gave you that motivation to do that with just $5, $10 in your pocket?
Well, as I stated earlier, growing up, being raised by the mother of a holiness church, knowing the Bible, there's a scripture, one of my favorite scriptures, that says that God says in Deuteronomy 8:18, he says, I give you power to gain wealth.
Wow.
See, one of the things that happened to me as a young man, because I was tied into the church, I was tied into good teaching, was that I wanted to know the source of wealth.
Yes.
because I asked the Lord, because being a church boy, you go to church and you hear people all the time saying, well, God is no respecter of persons.
Mm-hmm.
And God this and God that. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, somebody, and and then I'm having this conversation with the Lord, is I'm saying, well, why are these people over here struggling so bad? And those people over there got so much. And when I look at the morality of the people, I don't see a difference.
Mm.
So I was searching for the source of wealth and where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And over in Proverbs, I think I got that because it said that the Lord created the whole world through wisdom and understanding.
Yes.
And so I started to understand that what it takes for a person to build wealth, and that's what they choose to do.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful, Ivy. And I must say, I have to say, you reverence God, and you stepped out on faith. And by doing that, you became obedient, and look at you today. Did you see yourself with such a large company today? What did you, in your planning phases, what did you see? How did you go about doing this?
Well, I fully expected and believed that we would be very successful and build a great company. I totally believe that,
Mm-hmm.
because of the faith that I have in God. And the way that I totally believe that. Now, all of the hows and in between, I did not know, but I just always believed and still do that this was what I was supposed to be doing, and and the Lord was going to bless it, you know.
Amen.
And so that's just what I believe. And there's, lots of scripture to back that up, But fortunately and unfortunately, um, a person is pretty much only going to get the benefit of faith based on how much faith they have.
Yes.
So if they don't have very much, they're not getting much benefit on faith. If they have a lot of faith, then they can get a lot of benefit on faith. And, because sometimes that leads to a conundrum because the person say, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they don't receive.
Okay, now, taxes, W-4, maximizing your pay. What strategy should be used when it comes to filling out the W-4, taking that money that's been adjusted and going from there? What's the next step?
Well, it all really starts with the number one thing is, what do you want? What do you want to accomplish in the next 6 to 18 months? That's number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, once you know you got something you want to do, well, now let's identify where your money's going. That's the cash flow manager or strategy, because you know where your money's going. So then when most people do that, they realize, okay, I need some more cash flow. So now once we realize we want or need some more cash flow, and I think everybody wants or needs cash flow, they fall into one of those categories. Now we've got several ways to get that. And one way that we can help them get that cash is through a strategy called correcting the W-4. And all we do, and that strategy exists because according to the IRS, almost 100 million employees in America have too much money taken out their paycheck for taxes. Now that's what the IRS says, but we all also already know that, because right after Christmas, you'll hear millions of people start saying, man, I'll be glad when I get my refund. I'll be glad. Well, a refund is an overpayment, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so it's millions of people getting refunds every year. It's the whole industry, the tax industry is based on that. Banks have set up rapid refund, which is a loan to get them to refund quicker and charge them a fee. So when you realize that, so what we do is go in and say, okay, we can show you how to do this for yourself. We changed the W-4 right on the IRS's website. It's nothing secretive about this. There's nothing under it. It's just right on the IRS's website. It's just a person needs to know how to do it. We show them how to change the W-4. It takes about 15 minutes. We typically see people get $200 to $500 a month more added to their paycheck, but I've seen over $1,000 many times. So now they have some extra cash to start working on with their plan. Whether that plan is to get out of debt, start investing, or enhance their lifestyle.
Awesome. Now, I like the idea of investment. What can you do, or how can you show me or teach me the proper way of investing?
Well, there's a lot of proper ways or good ways of investing, but one thing that millions of people have to deal with is that they either don't have the knowledge or the time to, or both, to pick their own investors. In other words, if somebody's going to do investing, they got to sit there and say, okay, should I buy Tesla or should I buy IBM? Should I buy this one? And do the research to decide which one they're going to buy, right? Well, most Americans don't have the time nor the knowledge to do that. So you have professional money management companies that'll do that for them. They'll do that in a they'll do that in a mutual fund, or they'll do that in an ETF. So, and then what happens, and so I always tell people that I invest like I get my car fixed. I don't know how to fix my car. I'm not going to take the time to learn. That could be years. So I find a good mechanic at a good price. They fix the car, I pay them, and I keep doing what I'm doing. I do the same thing with my investments. I go to a good money management company that's got good prices. I ask them to manage my money for me. I pay them, and I keep doing what I'm doing. That's a much easier way versus somebody saying, well, I want to pick my own companies. Well, the reality is, how much investment research do you do? Because, hey, if they're just saying, well, I heard that this company was doing good, I heard that company was doing good, but they haven't done any research, they don't know how to read a financial statement, so they're just guessing. And so they would be better off with professional money management.
Wow. So, you've really mentioned two different ways, or really multiple different ways of increasing your cash flow. You actually, you started a company, but that wasn't your only source of income coming in. You invested, so that's actually that's being disciplined with your money and making it work for you.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give a person today who like Sergeant Wallace was just fumbling money away instead of coming up with a strategy? And how important is it to have emergency fund?
Well, I think it's very important because number one, we know life is going to happen, right? And it's not always good. Absolutely. And so what happens is, sometimes people have an emergency. Well, now they got to borrow money or put it on a credit card, or, and so it just, so a $2,000 emergency ends up being a $5,000 expense, or, And so why not plan for those things just like we plan for everything else in our life? And so that's one of the first things that we do in my econ is show people how to build a $3,000 to $5,000 emergency fund. And we're just putting that money in a conservative investment account, and it's getting somewhere between 6 and 10% a year, but it's conservative. And they're still making money on that money while it's sitting there. If something happens, they can take it out, and the emergency just becomes an inconvenience rather than a real big financial disaster.
Wow. Now, what about a person that enjoys traveling? What advice could you give them that the company offers when it comes to traveling?
Well, I would say one thing that a person should do is, even on the investment side, a business is the best investment a person can make. Okay, because you get a higher return, you get more tax write-off. So I would even say with travel, there's when you are in an industry and you use the things in that industry, now those become tax deductible to you. In other words, if a person was a model, they model clothes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now they would be able to write off a lot of their clothing as a tax deduction.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so the bottom line is if a person is a professional if somebody's in the travel industry, now their travel would become tax deductible because if they went to France or they went wherever while they were there, they took pictures of the property, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, and encouraged others to get their product and travel to those same places. Now they're acting as a professional as a travel professional, and all of their travel becomes tax deductible. So I would tell everybody, number one is be a business owner so you can write it off. Then number two, we have a discount travel membership where we guarantee our customers and our members the best price. We have 110% best price guarantee. So that's big. One of our members just last night was talking on the web that they just went to Vegas to Caesar's Palace and two of them, and it was and for $635 at Caesar's for 4 days, plus 2 round trip airline tickets to Texas.
Wow. Now
right, and tax deductible because they're in the business.
Yeah.
So so if you're going to travel, then maximize the benefit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just maximize the benefit. Because hey, a person could, because that same person, if they weren't in the business, they could have gotten the same rates if they had the membership.
Absolutely.
But it would not have been tax deductible.
What I would like to do in a real near future, Ivy, is I would love for you to come back on this program and give a presentation to the viewers. I really see the benefits behind it. I love it. It works, and we're gonna show all the viewers out there exactly what you're talking about and how they can benefit from it. Would you be willing to do that?
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely be willing to do that. I am very passionate about two things when it comes to money. Making money, but also helping other people make money. I'm very passionate about that. So I would definitely love to do that. That always motivates me and encourages me when other people that I have helped, also attain financial success.
Awesome. This has been really great. It's really abbreviated. We didn't go full-fledged, but when you come back, we're going to go full-fledged. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. Absolutely. We can get it done.
Well, for the viewers that's out there now, I'm going to do something that I enjoy doing, which is giving away cash.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing.
We're going to have a cash giveaway, and they have to answer a question in order to get the cash gift. My number is 240-603-1743. Again, my number is 240-603-1743. And caller number 9 will win a cash gift if they can tell me what building has the most stories. Again, what building has the most stories? Caller number 9, 240-603-1743. Let's see. Hello? Do you have the answer? You know what? We don't have to go any further. You won. You are right. It's the library. So you send me your cash app, okay? Okay. All right, Jesus, call on. All right, Sid. Send me your cash app. Ava said, "Thank you, Mr. Stokes."
All right. Hey, I like giving out an assist.
There were several calls behind her, but she got it.
Hey, if you got the answer, you got the answer, right?
She got the answer. Yes, I'm going to send her a cash gift for getting that answer. But Ivy, thank you for being on tonight, and for everybody that viewed tonight, you were a part of some powerful information on the importance of owning a business and writing off your taxes or having cash write-offs. All right, we're gonna have a presentation sometime in the near future, so you can get more from Mr. Stokes. And I didn't go into his dollar value, but I can tell you this: from $10 to where he's at today, you want to think about doing this, especially being able and in position to increase your investments. Don't be afraid to do that, okay? All right. Avi, thanks again.
All right. Thank you. I've enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything you want to leave the folks before you go?
Well, I would, just want to say, I say this all the time. It's one of my favorite sayings. The cavalry is not coming. In other words, the government, they have no plan for your dreams and goals. Corporate America has no plan for your dreams and goals. And so if you have some dreams and goals, then that's something that you're going to have to take control of so you can live the life that you want to live instead of the life that somebody else plans for you. Okay? So I enjoyed it. We'll talk soon. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See you next week, everyone. See you next week. We'll be back next week with Legends from the Past or the Future. Today we went off script. I think it was needed. What more can I say? I love everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.